Mark from MarsTV. Welcome to Red Planet Project. This is where our Martian adventure begins. We've always been planning flights to other planets. We build rockets, design colonies, think about terraforming. But there's something we rarely talk about. At what point in this journey will we change so much that we'll no longer be the same people? Is it really enough to simply take a human to Mars, or must we first change the human being? Maybe the greatest challenge doesn't wait for us in the void between the planets, but within ourselves. Maybe, to truly settle new worlds, we first need to become someone who can live there. And maybe that transformation has already begun. Faster than we think. If we truly want to settle other worlds, we have to stop being just children of Earth. We must become something more, and right now we are learning how to do it. CRISPR technology changed everything. It was discovered when scientists studied how bacteria defend themselves against viruses. CRISPR works like scissors for DNA. It allows us to precisely cut, add and edit fragments of genetic code. Thanks to this, we can repair genetic damage, strengthen immunity, and change the traits of an organism. But this is only the beginning. In the future, CRISPR will allow us to create humans capable of surviving in space. Humans resistant to radiation, adapted to low gravity, capable of living in environments extremely poor in resources. These are no longer theories. In laboratories, researchers are working on concrete solutions. One of the most promising directions involves tardigrades, microscopic organisms that can survive where all other life forms perish. Outer space, extreme temperatures, lack of water, lethal doses of radiation. Tardigrades endure all of it because their bodies produce special proteins that protect DNA and stabilize cells under extreme conditions. Now scientists are trying to transfer these mechanisms into human cells. If they succeed, future Martians could have bodies capable of regenerating from radiation damage, better tolerating changes in temperature and pressure, and even entering a state of suspended animation in case of danger. This would change everything. Mars, with its thin atmosphere and deadly radiation, would become more accessible. Genetically modified humans could function on its surface not only in suits and under domes, but possibly in more natural conditions. Protection against osteoporosis caused by low gravity, better utilization of limited water supplies, resilience to extreme environments. This is what the new human body in space might look like, and all of it begins with a tiny fragment of genetic code and a technology that gives us, for the first time in history, control over our own evolution. Changing our genome is one thing, but we are just as intensively developing technology that allows the human body to connect directly with machines. And that process has already begun. Laboratories are developing brain-computer interfaces that allow devices to be controlled by thought alone. One of the most well-known projects is Neuralink, a system of brain implants designed for direct communication with computers. This technology can record the activity of neurons and transform it into signals that control machines, prosthetics, and in the future even entire computer systems. In just a few years, we may not only talk to computers, but literally connect to them with our minds. The merging of biology and technology does not end with the brain. Enormous progress has been made in the field of bionic limbs, which respond to nerve impulses and give users precise sensation and control. Three-dimensional printed bone implants and artificial hearts are saving the lives of thousands of people. But one of the greatest breakthroughs is the creation of the bionic eye. The Australian Gennaris project is something that just a decade ago seemed like science fiction. A camera records the image, a digital processor processes the data, and a special implant sends the signal directly to the visual cortex of the brain. Thanks to this, people who are completely blind and have no functional eyes can regain their ability to see. The Gennaris system is already working in tests and offers hope for restoring sight where medicine had previously been powerless. But this is just the beginning. Future generations of bionic eyes will not only replace lost vision, but enhance it far beyond the natural abilities of humans. Seeing in ultraviolet, seeing in infrared, functioning in complete darkness. A world that today we cannot perceive will become obvious to them. The breakthrough of Gennaris is the first step toward a future where humans will be able to design their senses just as we design devices today. The body will no longer be a limitation. It will become a platform that we can repair, enhance, and develop. And that is exactly why, in my opinion, this technology deserves a Nobel Prize. The future of space colonization will not be just about survival. It will be a project of building new humans. Life on Mars is not only a matter of adaptation, it is a conscious decision to create a new version of humanity, from the ground up, designed for alien worlds. Thanks to gene editing, bionic modifications, and life-supporting technologies, we can design a society capable of functioning where nature never intended us to go. Mars does not forgive mistakes. That's why new Martians will have to be different from us. Their bodies might be more resistant to radiation and adapted to deal with low gravity. Their metabolic systems will be optimized for extreme conservation of water and energy. Their minds may be prepared for life in isolation and confined spaces under constant risk. New humans will not be an accident of evolution. They will be the result of planning. Technology will allow us to create communities able to survive in environments that today seem deadly. Mars could become the first place where humans are fully designed for the environment instead of trying to adapt the environment to us. And that will change everything. Instead of changing planets, we will start changing ourselves. And although the first Martians may still resemble us, over time they could become so different that the question of whether we are still one species may no longer make sense. By changing ourselves, we gain incredible possibilities. But where is the line? When do we stop being what we once were? Is there a moment when a modified human becomes someone completely new? The scientific world is asking this question more and more often. If we reshape our bodies, our genes, our senses, will we still be human, or something entirely different? And if so, will we still feel what we now call humanity? I love reading science fiction, and one book that perfectly predicted such a scenario is ManPlus by Frederick Pohl. It tells the story of a man who is biologically and technologically modified to survive on Mars. But in the process of these changes, he loses part of his human nature. And although he achieves a new form of life, the question arises whether he is still the same person he once was. This story shows that technology can change the body faster than it changes the mind, and that by altering ourselves for survival, we might not notice when we become something entirely different. Once we cross the line, there may be no way back. That's why the question about the future is not just how far we can go. It's also whether we are ready to pay the price of becoming someone new. Science fiction has always been a place where reality was anticipated. In books and films, scenarios were tested that today are no longer fantasies, but are becoming plans for the coming decades. Changing the body, enhancing the mind, adapting to new worlds. These are not visions of a distant future. They are technologies we are working on right now. Gene editing, brain-computer interfaces, bionic enhancements. Everything that science fiction writers once imagined is now moving from paper into reality. The future of humanity will not look like the past. We are opening a new era where designing ourselves will become as natural as once building shelters and tools. It's not a question of whether we will change ourselves. It's a question of how fast and in which direction. Worlds like Mars demand new humans, and new technologies create new possibilities. Boundaries are disappearing. Everything we know about humanity may change, and that change has already begun. Thanks for being with me today. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. We have many more journeys into the future ahead, more stories about technology, space, and what lies beyond. And what do you think about changing humans to live on other planets? Where do you think the line should be? Let me know in the comments. See you in the next episode.